Hey guys, this is going to be a video on some rigatoni pasta that I'm going to make, and some pork chops with applewood barbecue sauce, and I'm going to put onions in it, and then I'm going to top it off with cheese, and it's very delicious and flavorful. So anyway, in this pot right here I have some water, and it has a little bit of salt in it, and it's been heating up for a while now, and I'm waiting for it to get to a boil. Then in this pot here, I just have some simple pork chops and a little bit of olive oil. You could put any oil you want to. Just put very little. Now what I'm going to add is the smoked Memphis barbecue seasoning. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on here, because later on the sauce that I'm going to put in here has a little tangy taste to it. Alright, so I just season the top of the pork chops first. Then, like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic sea salt with parsley. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of this onion powder. If I could get the bottle open. Okay. Just sprinkle a little bit of that on there. This is pure powder of onion, so it gives it a little bit of flavor, and it's really good. And the next thing I'm going to put is this sazon little package. So I'm going to use half of it first. So I just opened it up. I'm going to sprinkle a little tiny bit all over the tops of the first layer of pork chops. And don't worry about the white powder from the onion powder. It'll dissolve when you do the oil. Oh my god, it smells so good. And these are thin pork chops with a little bit of bone in it. If you don't like them, you can always take the bone out and cut them up in strips, and or you could buy the boneless kind, or you could just put chicken if you don't like pork, or actually any type of meat. Okay, so it looks like this on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the same flavoring. So this is smoked Memphis barbecue seasoning. And I bought this at, I think, Wilson's Meat Market. So you just sprinkle a little bit of that all over the tops of the pork chops. Just for a little bit of flavor. Don't overdo it. Then I'm going to add the garlic sea salt with parsley. Just sprinkle a little tiny bit, just so it has a little bit of flavor and the garlic. Then I'm going to add the onion powder. Oops, just a little bit of the onion powder. And then I'm going to put the sazon, the rest of the package of the sazon. Just for a little bit of color and just a little bit of flavor. Okay, next, like I said, cook it down. Make sure the meat is cooked through and not pink inside. It smells so good. Every time I use a combination of garlic and onion with my own flavoring, it smells and tastes so delicious. Now in this pot here, I'm just going to add a simple box of San Giorgio rigatoni. You can use any pasta you want to, or you could make your own. Doesn't really matter. If you don't like rigatoni, you can put spaghetti, you can put shells, whatever. So now it's boiling. I'm going to add the rigatoni into the pot. Okay, let this cook down for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so, maybe 8 minutes, 9 minutes, depending on the temperature and how fast it's cooking. But eyeball it, keep an eye on it. I make sure it's al dente and not overcooked. And then, when this meat is done, usually I use boneless. When I bought that sauce, which I'm going to use tonight, and this is the McCormick's applewood barbecue chicken. Now, this company is amazing. They have some very, very delicious seasonings and marinades and everything. I just love it. Mainly, all the seasonings I do buy is from that company, McCormick's, and I just love them. Well, anyway, this is from the supermarket, and they stopped selling it. Like, I haven't seen it in a while. So one day I go to Dollar Tree, and I spotted them. So I started buying a lot of them. And this has a barbecue-y sauce flavor, like something like a Sloppy Joe. It's a little bit tangy. But what I notice is when you put onions and you put it over pasta or potatoes or, you know, rice, whatever you want to put it on, it's very, very delicious. So last time I made it with pork chops and stripped onions or steak instead of the actual chicken. And it's just absolutely delicious. And then I also made it with boneless chicken. And it came out very good too. So tonight I'm going to do it with the pork chops. Then I'm going to add these cut up white onions to this when this is almost done. And then I'm going to put these 2 packages of this McCormick Applewood barbecue chicken sauce. And it's super delicious. And I'm going to mix it in with the rigatoni. And then I'm going to shred it and top it off with some melted cheese to tone down the sauce just a little bit. And it's really good. And everything is not the best, you know, like the healthiest thing for you if you don't like pork or you're afraid of carbs and pasta, things like that. But it's okay for dinner, you know, once in a while. So I'm just going to keep cooking it like this. Make sure it's cooked through. And how you know it's cooked is when the actual pork is white inside, not pink and not red or anything like that. Just right. Don't overdo it. Sometimes some people cook it a little bit and makes it a little crispy on the edges, and that's okay. But don't overcook it, because when you overcook it, it gets really hard and hurts your teeth. So anyway, I'm going to add the onions. And you could cut them in thin strips if you want to. I just dice these. Doesn't really matter because it's going to go in your stomach. But if you want a pretty presentation, you could strip the onions in long strips. Still delicious. And you can use any onions you want to, actually. So good. Now when the onions cook down, it's going to, the juices is going to flow out the onions. It's going to shine. It's going to get softer. More flavoring comes out and mixes in with this delicious pork and my seasonings and the onions. Mixed with the olive oil. So, you see how beautiful it looks? Like this, so. You just cook this down. Let this cook down for another 5 to 7 minutes. And then I'm going to show you how everything is done when I put the sauce and I do the pasta. Okay, next I open up the 2 packages of this Applewood barbecue chicken sauce and just mixed it in here. Now it's a little tangy. You can tell it has a little bit of vinegar in there. And when you taste it, it's, you know, like a really delicious barbecue sauce. It reminds me of Sloppy Joe's. And to tone it down just a little bit, and believe me, the sauce is really good. But some people might not like the tangy flavor a little bit. So just to tone it down, you can add onions like I did. You could put different vegetables if you want. And I found out this sauce is really delicious when I do it with onions and the meat, pork, over pasta. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it off with this 4-cheese Mexican cheese and the rigatoni. It looks like that. And I will show you when it's done. Okay guys, right before I put it together, I put the 4-cheese Mexican in here, mixed with the sauce, onions, and the pork. And then the rigatoni is almost done. Just want just a little bit more. Give it another 3 to 4 minutes. And then I'm going to show you how I put it together. Okay guys, I strained the rigatoni. And then I put the sauce in here, the cheese, the pork, everything like this. It's so good. It smells so good. So you just give it a stir. Or some people put the sauce on top of pasta. You could do that too. You could sprinkle a little parsley or whatever you feel like doing, or some grated cheese, or just leave it by itself. But I did it like this. And all the Mexican cheese melted in here, and onions, the pork. It's so good. So anyway, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.